In the heart of Cameroon, where the hills rise like giants and the forest speaks in whispers, two tribes lived side by side, bound by blood and broken by history. The Bamiléké and the Bamoun, once brothers, were now rivals, their pasts intertwined with love, war, and betrayal. Yet, amid the tension, a love story would rise, fragile as the morning dew, yet powerful enough to shake the foundations of their world. Naya's feet brushed against the soft earth as she navigated the forest trail. The vibrant patterns of her traditional Bamiléké wrapper flowed with the breeze. Her dark skin glowed under the dappled sunlight, her elaborate beaded jewelry jingling softly with each step. The weight of tradition pressed heavily on her shoulders as her mind raced. Ahead of her, the ancient baobab tree stood tall, its gnarled branches reaching toward the sky as if trying to touch the heavens. It was their meeting place, a sacred ground where no one from the village dared to venture without good reason. For Naya, it was the only place where she could truly be herself, away from the prying eyes of her people, away from the pressures of duty and the impending marriage to Akema. When she reached the clearing, Ikon was already there. His tall frame was outlined against the thick forest canopy, his eyes searching for her. His traditional Bamoun attire clung to his muscular body, and his face lit up as she stepped into the light. "Naya," he whispered, his voice like a caress. He stepped forward, taking her hand in his. "I was afraid you wouldn't come." Naya smiled, though her heart was heavy with uncertainty. "I shouldn't have come," she replied, her voice shaking. "We're risking everything, Ikon. My family, your people, if they find out." "I know," Ekon said, pulling her closer. "But I couldn't stay away, not from you." As they embraced, the world around them seemed to disappear. In each other's arms, they found solace and strength. But the ancient rivalry between their tribes loomed over them like a dark cloud, threatening to tear them apart. Back in Naya's village, the preparations for her wedding were in full swing. The sound of drums echoed through the air as women danced and sang, their brightly colored Bamiléké dresses spinning in rhythmic circles. Naya's mother, a strong woman draped in fine beaded necklaces and gold bracelets, supervised the festivities with pride. "Naya, my daughter," her mother said, pulling her aside, "you will soon be married to Ekema, a good man, a strong man. This union will bring honor to our family and unite the village." Naya smiled weakly, but inside, her heart ached. The weight of her impending marriage to a man she didn't love grew heavier by the day. Ekema, though respected and powerful, was not the one who made her heart race. That honor belonged to Ikon, the man her people would never accept. Her mother noticed her distraction and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You must be happy, Naya. You will be the wife of a great chief, and our family will be stronger for it. Tradition is everything. Without it, we are nothing." Naya nodded, though her mind was far from the village. Tradition was everything. She had been raised to believe that. But what of love? What of the feeling that made her soul come alive when she was with Ekon? The days turned into weeks, and as Naya's wedding day approached, the whispers of her secret meetings with Ekon began to spread. A hunter had seen her slip away into the forest at dusk, her face flushed and her steps quick. The village buzzed with gossip, and it wasn't long before the elders heard of her forbidden love. One evening, as Naya returned from the forest, she was confronted by her father. His face was hard, his eyes filled with disappointment. "Naya," he said, his voice stern, "what is this I hear about you meeting with the Bamoun?" Naya's heart raced, and she looked down at the ground, unable to meet his gaze. "Father, You are promised to Ekema," her father shouted, his voice filled with anger. "You are to marry him and uphold the traditions of our people. To be with a Bamoun is to betray your ancestors. Do you wish to bring shame upon this family?" Tears filled Naya's eyes, but she stood her ground. "I love him, father. Ikon is not our enemy. He is kind, and he understands me in a way no one else does." Her father's face softened, but his voice remained firm. Love is not enough, Naya. Love will not protect our people. You will marry Ekema, and you will forget this Bamoun. That is the only way. With her wedding day fast approaching, Naya knew that her time was running out. She could not abandon Ekon, but to stay meant betraying her family and her people. Torn between love and duty, Naya made a decision that would change her life forever. One night, she met Ekon beneath the baobab tree. His face was lined with worry, but his eyes were full of love. "We have to leave," Naya whispered, her voice urgent. "If we stay, they will tear us apart. My father knows about us. He will force me to marry Ekema." Ekon nodded, his jaw clenched with determination. "Then we will go. We will leave this place and start a new life, far from here. Somewhere we can be together, without fear," their hearts pounding with the weight of their decision. They would leave their families, their tribes, and their traditions behind. It was a dangerous choice, but one they were willing to make for the sake of love. As dawn broke over the Cameroonian landscape, Naya and Ekon set off into the wilderness, their hearts filled with hope and fear. The forests of Cameroon stretched out before them, vast and untamed. The sounds of birds and wildlife filled the air as they ventured deeper into the unknown, guided only by the strength of their love. For days they traveled, crossing rivers and mountains, forging a path to a new life. Along the way, they encountered the rich diversity of Cameroon's landscape: dense forests, rolling savannas, and mighty rivers. They marveled at the beauty of the land, even as they feared the dangers that lay ahead. But as the days turned into weeks, their resolve grew stronger. They had left behind the constraints of tradition and the expectations of their families. Now they were free to build a life together, one founded on love and mutual respect. Months passed, and Naya and Ekon found refuge in a distant village, far from the reach of their tribes. The people there welcomed them with open arms, unburdened by the rivalries of the past. Naya and Ekon built a home together, their love stronger than ever before. In their new life, they honored the traditions of their ancestors, but also forged new paths. They taught the village children the stories of the Bamiléké and Bamoun, not as enemies, but as two proud peoples united by love. In the end, Naya and Ekon's love was not a betrayal of tradition, but a continuation of it, an evolution of what it meant to be Bamiléké and Bamoun. For in love, they found a new way forward, a way that honored the past while embracing the future. And so, in the shadow of the baobab tree, their story would live on, a testament to the power of love over fear and the strength of the heart over tradition.